Oktay. How are you? Thanks for being.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you for creating this opportunity, and thank you for doing all whole work. I'd say huge work, by the way. Great,
Uh,
congrats to you.
Thank you. Thank you. And tell me, where are you now? Are you back home in Baku?
I am back home. Actually, after finishing the master degree, Doc Nomads, I came back to Baku, and then my wife started master degree in the UK. So we moved to the UK for a while. We stayed there. But recently, a couple of months ago, we again settled back in Baku, and life goes on here.
Are you happy to be back home in Azerbaijan? Um, Tell me what life is like there for you now.
Happy is quite wide, in my opinion. Like happy from what perspective? Generally, in the beginning, I knew that this is temporary. So all the conditions were clear. Like we're going only for 1 year. So coming back to Baku was not kind of choice. It was like just a break for 1 year. So it was already a decision to come back Baku. That's why I cannot say I'm happy because I cannot compare. But generally, coming back to Azerbaijan after I'm done with the master degree, that was a choice, and I had a goal or I had a, let's say, plan. Um, that's why I'm back in Azerbaijan. From that perspective, I can say yes, I am happy. Everything's fine for now. Hoping things will be better.
Well, one thing that stands out to me about you and your episode is that you talk about the importance of getting an education and coming back and contributing it back to your society, through your film work or whatever other endeavors you choose to do. Um, do you still see that as a worthwhile goal?
As a worthwhile goal, I don't know, but this is definitely among my goals because since then, maybe I didn't continue working on my own project, doing my own film, but contributing to the industry or this world, filmmakers world in different ways. For instance, since I was back, I think you joined here when we had Dokubaku, right? Also in the episode, Dokubaku, we had a Dokubaku lab where we accepted a few projects and they people who wanted to develop their film projects. And this lasts for 3 or 4 years, 4 years, including Dokubaku Lab. After I left Dokubaku, I continued doing the same job. So, uh, working on film projects, on many film projects from scratch, maybe in post-production stage. Uh, so I would say yes, this is still considered as contributing to the industry in Azerbaijan of film. Let's say, like being in this society or where people who want to make films and putting your hand under this, let's see, in rock, under the rock, or putting your hand under something. I think there is a phrase in English as well, but we say
Sweeping,
in
sweeping
that
it under
way.
the rug? We sweep things under the rug. It's like which kind of means we're hiding it though.
No, no. I meant. I was not able to express my thoughts. Somehow contributing, but I wanted to express it with a phrase or idioms like we call it in Azerbaijan putting your hand under the weight or a
Okay.
rock.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
understand
Everyone
what
puts
you're saying, but I don't have a
everyone puts
phrase
their
to
hands
translate it.
just to move that big heavy rock so out of the way. That's somehow I don't know why I thought this is this is a good universal one. That's why. Um,
That's the amazing thing about languages. The idioms are hard to translate, but I get the meaning, which is the more important part. It's great. We were in, I think we filmed you in Baku in early October of 2019. So we're talking almost 6 years ago. I I know people will want to know what have you been doing since then? Um, what's changed in your life and maybe in Azerbaijan in those 6 years?
Well, a lot of things changed. We had on the global arena, we had a big Azerbaijan became one of the main topics because we had a war right, I would say after the pandemic. It was during the pandemic, and that was really important period in our life from many perspectives, from many aspects, because there was a big scar which no one was talking, no one was you know putting it on the table. There was a big thing had to be solved, and I'm hoping that this is going to end soon because uh, it is going to take time. People rush sometimes. They say, "Oh, so what is the result? What are we gonna see?" But this is not a game between two kids. Like you can solve it in 5 minutes. Okay, kid, give it back, and you're right, you're fine. This is a big problem. It's a political issue. This is geographical issue, and of course you will sacrifice something to hit your goals. Uh, as Azerbaijan, as a country, there's a significant change since then. Uh, things were things were moving towards the positive direction, I would say. But of course, there are some other things which make you sad. But you kind of understand now. Once you get older and busy with the bunch of things that life's put in front of you, they understand, yeah, people have to make choice. That's all. When you're young, you just think, why? What is the justice? Like always looking for justice. But at some point, what is the difference between 2019 and 2025? Uh, Briefly, I would say that you get older, you learn more, you travel more, and you understand more that this is not really simple. It's hard to exist as a creative person, as a good person, I would say that to be honest, to be clean, to stay away from all the dirty stuff that's going around, also to speak out whenever it's needed. You have to manage everything. Like there are good signs, I would say. Generally, there are good signs in Azerbaijan, but also some sad things which is kind of not even allowed to discuss anymore. So since 2019, lots of things happened in Azerbaijan. But speaking from my perspective, what changed generally, I would say I stopped making films, and that is indirectly is the response to the question because I was doing films. I was doing my own films back then when we met. But now I almost stopped like for 5 years. For the last 5 years, I haven't done any single film of myself. But I do participate in the film projects like documentary or fiction films, doesn't matter, as a cinematographer or as a consultant or script consultant or generally for editing on documentary projects. That's basically what changed. This is, but the family is getting bigger, and kids are growing, and kid is growing. Two dogs, two cats. That's what changed in my life. But generally, in Azerbaijan as a country, there are some good and sad signs as well.
Um, it breaks my heart a little bit to hear
Yeah.
you've been doing a little less of your own film works. I think you were very prolific when we met you. A lot of the films I guess you had done in your schooling. Um, and they're really films that kind of touch the core of the society at the time. With all the changes going on in Azerbaijan, don't you feel like your voice is kind of necessary right now as a filmmaker?
I think my voice or all the voices in this category uh, of people who make this kind of films, I mean, um, are necessary all the time. Not for it's not applied for a specific period, but maybe it's more important now. But as I mentioned already, I let's say I gave a long break to filmmaking. And one of the main reason is that you can't really get support, financial support. You can get right in the beginning for development with a very small amount of money, but later you don't get support from any uh, private company because there's not enough or there's not a lot. Uh, and you cannot get support from the government. We had a crisis in our Minister of Culture. They tried to establish a new organization or institution, whatever is that, that's called Cinema Film Agency or whatever, like, but the State Film Agency, something like that. And a guy, a friend of mine, was in charge doing of finishing that project. And we were expecting he's going to be there because he was there for that reason. And once he's done, he left the job, he quit. We were like, kind of, um, we were expecting someone because he was from young generation. He was trying really to do something, support filmmakers. But then he left, and since then, I don't know how many state films were like how many films were supported by the Minister of Culture, maybe, and not more than my fingers in two hands, like not many. So that's the main reason. You cannot chase two targets at the same time uh, for a film and also other things that you have to take care in life.
Do you think if you had the funding, if you had a source of funding and the support structure, would you still be making films now?
Definitely, of course, that is, as I said, like the main reason because you have to, you know, feed yourself, your family, kids, as many other things you have to look after, take care. That's why.
Is your son about nine?
So funding would be you have to. He is eight. He's eight, and he's in second grade.
Ormon, right?
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Orman. Orman means forest.
Tell
By the
me,
way,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, go ahead. I was going to say like you have beautiful backyard or garden there. It's
So,
with the hammock, like
yeah, this is where Tiz and I live. It's up in the mountains in northern New Mexico. So we kind of live
nice.
this like outdoor lifestyle. Um, and it's beautiful. It right now it's the start of spring and summer, so it's very warm, but it does snow 9 months a year, so it gets quite cold in many months. But it's beautiful. So it's always shocks people too when they see it for the first time. Um, I wanted to ask you about Baku, because that was such a nice festival. Is it still around? Is
It
it
is. It is. It is still happening, and every after our meeting, I think a year later, I left in 2020. Yeah, in 2020 or 21, I'm not sure. I left Okubaku, but it's still on. But it also collaborates with the Minister of Culture, so it was completely independent. But now it's funded by Minister of Culture, and it lost already kind of its uh, independence, I would say. And
oh
literally, it happened, by the way. So,
wow.
Minister of Culture, his agency was censoring the two films or three films in the festival. They asked not to screen that, and that was a catastrophe. And yeah, they let's say they solved it.
I'm sorry to hear that. They also I remember talking with Imam, he was talking about a documentary film school or a program they wanted to start to
Mhm.
keep training the future generations. Is that happening?
No, not as a school. That Tokubaku Lab was kind of like short-term sample or example of this project. What we're doing in Tokubaku Lab. By the way, Imam was not part of it because he was in festival part, uh, programming the festival. Uh, he had another project which lasted for 3 months. Like it was 3 months project. Sorry, was it Doc Lad with a D, Doc Lad. That one's also not happening at the moment. Neither ours. Ours was Kinolab. Um, yeah, that school idea went also
And
I don't know,
to dust, as we say here, I think. Um,
to darkness.
I'm sorry to hear that. What about Salam Cinema? Are they still operating?
It is. It is not as the only cinema screening space. Now it's like more common space for a community. It's now like Salam community. Uh, People do some different type of arts there. They do activities like more social things. They support also stray animals, stray cats and dogs. Uh, yeah, many nice things they do. The garden, the backyard also changed a lot. Many people voluntarily help to clean this all the shit. Um, Now it turned out to be a nice, cozy uh, place to spend good time.
Well, that's
So
great
soon,
news.
by the way, soon they're going to have a 3 day or 4 day, 3 or 4 day, 3 day s- festival. It used to be a festival before, but not the competition style. It was like screening festival, and now it's mixed with master classes or let's say other activities, performance, concerts, and events altogether. It's like complex stuff now.
What I'm sure everyone wants to know what's next for you. What's because we talked about it a little before we started recording. What are you working on now in your life? What's next for you? Where do you see your near future going?
Oh, that's a tough question. I have no idea. I What we agreed with my family, my partner, my wife, my spouse. What we agreed, she also wanted me to do films, like not completely quit that job. What we agreed that we're going to work for a while, really hard, and to to back up something, and then I'll take a break from business and go doing my project, like spend more time on personal stuff. But for now, we have few things we need to finish, accomplish. For example, our house, our home, the part of it is done, we can live in, but the other half is not done yet, so we need to finish that too. It's kind of unfinished thing that always bothers you somehow. Um, yeah, that's basically very simple, not simple, very basic actually. Basic goal, very common goal. Uh, yeah, as a mid class uh person in Azerbaijan, I think for now, uh, and it doesn't really matter. You do like really big things, small things. You just leave the world and no one cares about you and your future or your past. That's why it would be nice to get back to making films. But for that, we need to work hard.
You had alluded to that
Basically, that's what is.
you had alluded to the fact that you're doing more consulting and trying to start a business. Is that right?
Consulting for film projects, not business projects. Consulting for film
Yeah,
projects,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
mostly in editing. Yeah, in editing and page. Also in production, I mostly participate or just consulting. Uh, Yeah, that is what I do also.
I guess the only thing I haven't asked you yet is I know it was a long time ago, but do you have any memories of our time together, of us filming you for 33andMe, now Cinema Nomad?
I do. I enjoyed and I was happy. Cool, because I was not that was another we okay, I step back and go back to the story. Uh when you were in Azerbaijan or generally in South Caucasus, people are happy to have foreign peoples as a guest in Azerbaijan, especially. They really want to have their guests. They want to. They really want their guests to have a good time when they are together or in Azerbaijan or they're as a guest in Azerbaijan. So being guests in our festival, that was something extra. That's why I remember that moment. Another one, uh, when you asked me we're going to put some kind of intro or something to introduce you. So something that belongs to you or unique that you can do in front of camera. I was like, should I do? Like, and then you say, I don't know, something like can be ridiculous even. Don't worry about it. And I was like, I don't know. I'm gonna turn around. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like that moment that I was lost. And of course, I think we went to the to a restaurant which was serving more local foods from my home, and you liked it a lot. So I hope you liked it.
I
And
did.
that moment, I think I remember. Yeah, yeah, I
It
remember.
it was great. The shots you're referring to, we call them our posing shots. We have every filmmaker do them, and we cut really like um we cut them in this montage, and yours are so good. Yours are one of my favorites of all the series because you've got the beautiful we did it, I think, in a park outside your house, but the flame towers and the skyline
Yes.
in the background, and you've got your hat and you're playing with the hat and the pole and you're disappearing in and out of frame, and it's just fun. It's great.
Good that you liked it. By the way, we what also changed since then, uh also in my personal life, but we moved out of city, suburbs. We built our own house. I don't know if I told you that we are building, but we built more than half, but the second half is still waiting. So we are outside of our town, so not all anymore near the park, but that park is getting bigger, more green and green, like turning into a better park now.
Nice. Nice. Well, I'm glad you're building your own home, you're carving your future. So Oktay, thank you so much for being here. It's so good to catch up after all these years. We've stayed in touch on WhatsApp and email, but it's nice to see your face. And I really hope you do get back to making films soon. Your voice is an important contribution to society and the world.
Thank you, Steph. Thank you. I hope too. And also thank you for having me. At the same time, thank you for making this huge, literally huge, like worldwide project. And I hope next time if you have any other events, I'll be part of it physically, like in person. Yep.
Thanks. Thanks, Oktay.